Hi, Biffs.
Hey, Beth.
Dear Abby.
Dear Kiki.
Captain.
Red flag,
Cheers to you.
desperate housewife.
Pinot Grigio.
Doesn't want to marry
Loser
you.
power.
Love you like I
Pour
love
more
you.
wine.
Don't talk to yourself.
Cheers, Biff. Cheers.
Ill-advised.
Ill-advised. This is ill-advised. Hi, Biffs.
Hello.
Hello and welcome.
Welcome to Ill-Advised.
Podcast where two best friends tell you what to do after someone else already has.
Like your meteorologist.
And not his sexually ambiguous assistant.
Ambiguous?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. Maybe I should have said androgynous. That's more respectful.
I don't even know what either of these words mean.
We're just not sure.
We're just not sure.
Wow, we're still on the same page after you've been at a beach for like a month.
I wish.
Oh.
It's like 4 days, but I got it.
Okay.
It's been a long time.
It feels like it has been a long time.
I was away at the beach for one weekend and then,
I thought you were gone the whole time straight.
no, 4 days. And then I don't remember what happened last. I don't even know what day it is.
Oh, good. It's Sunday.
It's Sunday. I do know what day it is because I have fucking homework.
Oh, good. Of course you do.
I was up till 3 trying to finish it and I didn't even finish it.
Were you close?
Yeah.
Men.
I wish. Olympics. Oh, Olympic men.
Oh, my God.
That'll
Olympics.
do it.
Oh, not limp
No.
dicks. Well,
Especially not
that's what's impressive
France.
is that they are limp.
the pole vote.
I know.
With the pole vote.
Right. Like he shoots. We score.
I thought you were supposed to let go of the pole. No, you're just going to take it with you?
Oh, up and away.
We all are rooting for France.
I know, isn't that terrible? Like, America, you're fine, but can you do this? The Olympic bulge competition.
Oh, that was not a
Oh my
bulge.
God. That's, yeah. Other than that, how you doing, Biff?
Good, actually. Good.
Good.
Except for my child.
Oh, yeah, she's nasty.
I didn't know if I wanted to cry or
She's so mean.
physically fight her.
I don't know if it's child abuse, if it's self-defense.
Decides one day to tell me, Mom, you make the best eggs ever. You win the baking competition. But you do not win the face competition. And then she twirled off in her little Elsa dress.
Oh my God.
You do not win the face competition.
Fucking, what an asshole.
I didn't know. I'm like, are we fighting?
I think you were. Yeah.
I didn't know to go hide and cry or
Beat
put
that
my
shit
dukes up.
Yeah. You should have put your dukes up.
Like,
Oh my God.
yeah. You win the baking competition, but you do not win the face
The
competition.
face competition.
She's such a fucker.
You do not win the face competition.
Yeah. Other than that, devastating blow to my fucking ego. I'm good.
Kids say the darndest things.
Oh, listen,
And then some.
I still think I'm beautiful.
I think you're gorgeous.
How are you doing?
Your kid just was wearing the wrong glasses that day.
She was talking about Snapchat,
Oh, okay. Oh, that.
but she didn't say that until like 5 minutes later.
Okay. Yeah.
She's like, comes back out after her little friggin',
She sent herself to her room.
she just like trotted off in her little princess dress. Like, you do not win the face competition. And then like twirled away.
She's brilliant.
And then she comes back minutes later while I'm still standing there like, I don't know.
From the hand gestures to the
Twirl.
emphatic words to the twirl, she is your daughter. There is no mistaking it.
So hurtful.
There is no mistaking it.
But then she came back and was like, do you want to know what the face competition was? I'm like, no, I don't. I still haven't even
You want to know
processed.
who I put you up against, Mom?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then she said she calls Snapchat happy face.
Oh, okay.
She wants to do a happy face. So she said, it's the happy face something thing. And I was just like, All right, well,
Alright,
I
I feel
forgive you,
better.
but I just still got to be mad for
Yeah.
3 days.
Yeah. Good thing she's off with her dad. See ya.
Shit. You think I do not win the face competition? Anywho, your turn.
Okay. My turn, huh? I have nothing exciting to report other than my dog got skunked. Does that? Yeah.
Fucker.
The first time ever in his life, in his 3 years.
Did he like chase after it?
It was really weird because he barks at everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the neighbor's dog was outside when I let him out. We were going to bed. It was 9 or 10 o'clock. I think it was 9 o'clock. And he starts barking at the neighbor's dog. I push his collar with the beeping and he stops barking. But I hear him like scuffling, shuffling, the word shuffling outside. And then starts barking again, even though the neighbor's dog had gone inside at this point. And then,
So he was already outside while this was happening?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think what he did was he went after an animal and an animal said, "No, you're not. You're not after me." So he comes in and I'm like, "Why do you smell like burnt rubber?" And then it started to like fade. And then I noticed that his chest was all yellow.
Oh.
Yeah.
It does that?
I had to look it up because I didn't know that either. And it's an oil that they emit. It's all yellow. And he and my house have stunk. Like we went instantly into the bathroom, right? Because there was no way I was going to bed with my dog skunked.
Oh, God.
And that was a mess. But we got most of it that night. And it's just been like lingering. So it's like just waiting for it to go away. And today's the first day that my bathroom does not smell like skunk.
Isn't it so weird that like it took time before you realized it was a skunk smell?
Yeah.
That happened to one of my dogs.
I was with you when it happened to one of your
dogs.
dogs.
I was like, what the fuck is that?
We were sitting outside. We used to sit on your porch and rip butts. Like we were drinking and ripping butts like they were going out of style.
Yeah.
And your dog came up and like sat next to me. I was like, "Why are you wet?" And you're like, "Why do you smell like that?" And then we realized.
It was such a weird smell.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like.
The German Shepherd. What was his name?
Sarge. Sarge was the German Shepherd.
Sargento.
Sausage.
You washed that sweatshirt for me.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that.
And then I was like, "Whatever happened to that sweatshirt?" I'm like, "Oh, it was 340 pounds in it."
Oh, so I still have it.
I don't know. Maybe.
It's mine now.
Other than that, I have nothing to report.
Did you use tomato sauce?
No, I didn't go that far into
What'd you do?
He had, because it was just on his chest, I used the shampoo that we had for him that was already in the
And
thing.
it just worked?
It mostly worked. He has such thick hair that it's like to the surface. Because we had just brushed him. I got the new detangler and everything, and I just brushed him.
Oh, that's funny.
And after that, we sat in the living room and I brushed him all over again. Did it all over again. And he's bearable.
Motherfucker. That's gross. It's yellow. I never knew that.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
You've never
had a white dog.
No,
so.
I've never had a light dog at all.
Yeah. So there's that. The more you know.
Yeah, gross. That's worse.
But that's it.
Yeah.
How about something else we don't know anything about? This wine I've never heard of in my life. It's a 2021 Zibibbo Catarratto.
Isn't there a team Zibibbo in the Olympics?
Are they Italian?
I don't know.
Sicilian, to be more precise.
Listen, that Italian sprinter.
Oh, what was his name?
Marcos? Marcello. Marcello.
Mark.
Thompson, I think.
No.
His last name.
The Italian was Thompson?
I'm pretty sure.
Are you serious?
I'm like pretty sure.
I know who you're talking about because we watched him just now.
We sure did watch him just now.
Thompson, huh?
Anyways, we're Team USA.
Yeah. Yeah. Not once have we endorsed that on this podcast. But this is from Stefano di Blasi. And it says Bianco Terre Siciliani. So I didn't know. This is another one of those wines from that Naked Wines delivery that I got.
Oh, when they choose.
Yeah.
Based off of your.
So they have I'm just paying attention now. The back labels are printed for them. So they all are addressed to angels. And we weren't picking up on that when we would read that and be like, "Dear angels, blah, blah, blah." Like a letter from the.
Oh.
Yeah. they call everyone who subscribes to this an angel, and I don't know why. I'm going to have to look that up.
Oh, so these aren't necessarily from...
They are, but they like print custom labels in the back. Just like if you were to get like a Portuguese wine, for example, some of them you'll look at the back and the label will read at the bottom, like distributed by whatever in like Fall River, Massachusetts, even though it's not a Massachusetts wine. They've custom printed the label for that distributor. Yeah, it's a thing. The more you know.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That is interesting.
But it's a 60% Zibibbo and 40% Catarratto. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing this shit right. It's just spelled that way. Angels, thanks to your continuous support, I have had the pleasure to make my dream white wine, a blend of the historically renowned Zibibbo and the deliciously fresh Catarratto, both native to Sicily. When you have a glass of this authentic Vino Bianco from southern Italy, you'll be tasting a part of our history. This Sicilian wine is refreshingly fruity, best served chilled and shared among friends. Salute. And I needed to know more. So I did some Googling, and it's got a lot of notes. It says that it has tree fruit notes, citrus notes, and earthy notes, which is like honey, minerality, and some of them even have a tropical note, but it's volcanic grounds that these grapes grow on.
Oh.
So to your health.
I was going to say, what is the ash?
I don't know. I really don't understand what it is. It's
that
just fascinating.
Good to ingest.
Sure.
To Marcel Jacobs.
Oh, Jacobs. That's right. He's fine.
To USA.
To Team USA.
Jacobs.
May you pole vault appropriately.
It smells great.
It smells wonderful. Although I can't pick out anything. Maybe some pear. Oh, grapefruit.
I still don't know.
Okay, well, let's try it.
Ooh.
It's a little oaky, but not in a bad way.
I got nothing.
Good, because you were thinking really hard.
I know. It's just like trying to find
like, is
anything.
she pushing?
I'm trying to regurgitate it so I can taste it again because I don't know what's happening.
Just take a second sip.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting that pear. And I'm getting like citrus peel.
Like a bitter.
Almost. Like you forgot to peel the orange before you bit into it.
Yeah. I don't taste anything. I mean.
Is it wine? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Number 3.
Hold on. How do I like taste it?
Get some air in your mouth while you're sipping. Yeah, I taste like oranges and grapefruit and pear and very clean water. Strangely enough. Maybe that's the minerality.
I got the hint of sweetness, like if it was pear or something, but I can't taste nothing specific.
Yeah, everything is like in my sinuses, if that makes sense. You know how like you smell what you taste what you smell.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of situation. It's all in the back of my nose.
So you can smell it also?
Yeah, it's weird, but I actually really like it.
Me too.
What would you give it?
I forgot how? 4.5.
Okay.
Because it's like I absolutely would buy this for myself or I'd go look for it, but I would never remember to.
Right, because you'd have to remember the name.
Right. But yeah, I really like it. It's like a hint of sweet, but it's not, but it's dry.
It's pretty refreshing.
Yeah.
It's apparently rare in the US to get this.
Oh, well.
So we lucked out.
Good thing.
At retail, it's $18.99 a bottle, which I would pay $18.99 for this. Yeah. I think I'd pay more for this, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would give it a 4. Definitely would have this casually around the house for those days. You know, like people come over, oh, try this one. Because if you don't like it, I'm going to drink it.
Right.
Also, get your own bottle because I'm going to drink it.
So just a 4?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 4. A 5 is like, I'm not sharing this. Or special occasion wine.
Yeah, we can't open that yet.
No. But they say after bottling, it's best to have it within the first year.
And what year was this?
2021, so we're fucked.
Damn,
Tastes
so that
great.
means it's even better?
Well, it says those types of wines. I don't know specifically about this one. This is a blend.
I didn't know anything you're reading.
Yeah. I mean, we're pretending we're winos here by calling out these things, but we don't know anything we're saying.
Yeah, once in a while I can taste a note.
Well, the citrus is usually something that you can smell, and you don't get that from this. It's not usually something that you taste off of the palate.
I don't know what I taste, honestly.
Well,
I
while
do
you
like
focus on that, why don't you read us some questions this week?
Oh, I shall.
Oh, you have questions.
Because we are doing one of our faves, Natalie Bencivenga.
Oh my God, when you say that, her name, I don't know if she knows. She's got the sexiest
She really
name.
does. I always you can't just say it normal.
No.
You can't just.
It's the sexiest. It's the, yes, please sext me. The name Natalie Bencivenga, and that's it. I'm done. Because I'm going to be like, Bencivenga. No, it's a beautiful name.
Bencivenga.
And
For a
it's-
beautiful woman.
Yes.
We love her.
Her Facebook account got hacked, I read recently.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so we're going to try to reach out to her some other way and hopefully have her on.
Is she going to not be able to get it back? Is that
I think she started a new one. I think that's what I saw.
Boo.
Yeah. I was going to go back on because I saw it on my account, my personal account.
Mm.
And I was going to go back on ours and comment or say something on it. And, well, I just got my health insurance back, so that ADHD meds are,
Oh, I was like,
they're not here.
wait, what?
Yeah. No, that one, there was a streamlined thought train there.
That connected.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for bearing with me. Read to me.
Yes. You Express by Natalie Bencivenga. This is December 2021.
Hey, matched up with our wine. I'm sorry. I just tasted straight up like orange juice sipping this. So, yeah.
What the hell? I hope I taste something cool at some point.
So too.
Oh, thanks. Ask Natalie. Blame your stepson for your husband's death and want nothing to do with him?
Blaming for his death. So
Blame your stepson for your husband's death.
that's heavy.
Starting it off with a, can I say bang still? How did
This is a
the
wallop.
husband die?
Well, hopefully it was natural causes. Go on.
Dear Natalie, I appreciate reading your great advice. Now I need some. My husband, quote unquote, Lou, died last month. He left behind a wife, me, and 2 college-aged kids. That's a difficult phrase to say.
Well, you in English.
Yes,
Your only language.
L's and Y's.
L-Y's, R's somewhere.
He also has a 32-year-old son, quote unquote, Colin,
Of course.
from a brief marriage long before we met. I developed a good and friendly rapport with his ex, Lydia. These are all fake names.
Okay.
She is a little bit of a hippie. It seemed like she wouldn't listen to me when I would present Lou's ideas for their son's care, like taking him to the doctor for an ear infection or not blaming the teacher for his bad grade. Colin has been in and out of trouble for years. Think crashing on couches because his crazy roommate spent the rent or getting arrested because his ex set him up. Lou was a self-made guy and refused to bail Colin out. Lydia has blown through a medium-sized inheritance on Colin's follies.
Follies. No, follies is right.
It has been clear to everyone but Lydia that Colin has a substance abuse problem. Colin visited 2 years ago when my oldest turned 21. They went out to celebrate his first legal drink. My son came home in an Uber around 10 p.m. saying that Colin was trying to bully him into alcohol poisoning.
Oh.
Colin came home around 4 a.m. that night and slept on the porch. I was nervous about Colin visiting this year, but Lou said it would be good to have the family together. Plus, we just wouldn't keep booze in the house. Well, that didn't work. He was drunk at our house for 3 long days until Lou blew up at him and Colin called Lydia to come and get him. Lydia and I got into an argument when she arrived. I told her she was an enabler and if she spent any more money on Colin, then it should be on rehab. Colin called Lou later that night drunk. The stress of the call gave Lou a heart attack. He died at the hospital. I don't want to have anything to do with Colin or Lydia. I'd feel this way if Lou was alive. Now, Lydia is claiming that Colin is no longer drinking and wants to plan a quote-unquote family Christmas. This is nuts. I do not believe for 1 minute that Colin magically cured himself of the demons that have plagued him for over a decade. Lydia is texting me about family unity. Colin is texting me saying I have turned his siblings against him. I want to give my kids and myself space to grieve without the drama. Do I just quit responding to them? I need peace.
So who's Lydia again?
The baby mama.
For
Colin, her husband's previous son.
Okay,
with
so
Lydia.
Okay, so she's not Colin's baby mama, she's Lou's baby mama.
Lou is the husband.
Right. So she and Lydia had Colin.
No. Lou and Lydia have Colin.
Right, that's what I was saying.
Yeah. And then...
Or he, right. Here I am. Welcome me back.
Welcome me back.
Sorry, this orange juice is just bringing me back.
I know, I'm jealous.
Okay. There was a lot of information in there.
Mm-hmm.
There was also a lot of there was maybe some TMI, but not in a, gross way, but it's too much without context, I feel like. What's the question? Should she...
So it seems Colin is or was struggling with alcohol, and Lydia and Colin both are saying he's no longer drinking.
Right.
And...
family unity, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Also, Colin is claiming that
she's
turning his siblings against him. I want to give my kids and myself space to grieve without the drama. Do I just quit responding to them?
How long has it been, did it say, since he passed?
It did.
I was just asking.
Oh, yeah. Last month.
Last month. Okay.
My husband, Lou, died last month.
Okay. So I think for me, it's a simple, grieve how you need to grieve. And if that means shutting out people, you know what I mean? You're there, you're raw, you're emotional. You can't really make I don't think, and all the books caution against it, making these permanent judgment calls, selling the house or, joining a biker gang or getting a tattoo that says mom with a sword through, I don't know, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All these cliche things, all the books caution against making these giant, monumental, life-changing decisions when you're grieving because they're an emotional response, not a logical one.
Right.
And this is one of those things where she blames him. I think it's because it's, the catalyst, it's the last thing that happened before his passing. And so it's going to take a while for you to even hear hey, that's not the only factor into a heart attack. That's probably just the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
There's a lot more to it, but I don't blame you for feeling the way that you feel. Stop responding to the text or change your number until you have passed the anger part of your grieving, because I think that's where you are personally. You're looking for someone to blame, and it's easier than being mad at him for not taking care of himself. The stress isn't the only thing that killed him.
Yeah, we also don't know the ages.
It doesn't matter. Even if they were in their 40s.
Well, Colin's 32, so.
Okay. Well, we're going to assume that Lou's at least 50 then. Or
do I just 50. Quit responding to them?
Yeah.
I agree.
Prioritize yourself. Grieve. And let your kids decide how they're going to grieve. I don't know how old they are, though. Did that say? They're high school age?
Look. Oh, well, one of them just turned 21.
So at least one of them is an adult. Yeah. Don't influence how they're going to grieve. Let them grieve the way they need to grieve. And if that means they're not talking to their half-brother, then they're not talking to their half-brother.
Yeah, we don't have any information about why Colin is claiming that she's turning the kids against him.
The only thing I can think of is influence. She's doing it leading by example. She's mad and shit talking.
That's what I mean. We don't know if the kids on their own are fuck this guy.
And that's why I'm just let them grieve how they feel they need to grieve. Try not to influence it. Do you? When it's something like this, you really need to pay attention to you and how you're processing this.
And also still having to be a mother.
Yeah.
Even if your children are.
Yeah. Which could mean a million things.
I know. It's hard because Colin is a whole grown adult. And it's like, it's not like he's a younger kid that
Right.
you know, have in some way built a stepmother-child
Right.
relationship with. And, you know, his mom's obviously still very much there. And he's 32 years old.
Yeah,
and if it feels stressful
you do
to
not
interact,
have to have a relationship with him.
Right.
That feels wrong to say, but I think it's...
Right. Because it's like, oh, you faked it while your husband...
Right. And now you don't have to.
But I think that's why I was stressing he's 32 years old.
Right.
Like...
You were beating around the bush.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm in it. I know it's very hard to imagine me in a bush. It's been a very long time.
If something is unsettling to you...
That's it. Trust your
you
gut.
get to not...
Be unsettled.
Right. So, especially while you're grieving.
Yeah. I think you and I are on the same page.
Yeah.
Let's go to Miss
Bencivenga.
Oh, fuck. I just need to clean my pants.
Oh, man. I was hoping you were in white ones.
No. Why? These are where it's going to show it.
So, listen, I got so used to watching these little swim trunks and
We're back on the Olympics.
pole vault pants. And earlier when I was doing my makeup and you were setting up, I just was like,
Here we go.
oh, whoops, that's not
my
the TV.
eyes are up here.
That's
Here we
not
go.
France.
We have not
That's
been here before.
Brazil.
My mother would be proud.
Yes, she would be.
Oh my God, stop.
Dear, I need peace. Let me first start by offering my condolences.
Oh,
This
right.
sounds like it has been an incredibly difficult time for you and your family. You are allowed to have boundaries. You do not owe Colin or Lydia anything. If Colin wants to have a relationship with his siblings, then he has to earn back their trust and respect. Oh, yeah.
That's why I said, like,
The
let them grieve.
21-year-old
Yeah.
came home saying he's trying to friggin' alcohol poison me.
Right.
So that's why
yeah.
Colin is like, you turning the kids against me. Well, no, your siblings are choosing
I
to
actually
not.
didn't connect those.
I didn't either.
makes
That's why I
sense.
said, like, we don't have any.
Like, I remembered it, but to me, that was like, that's part of, like,
Yeah, I forgot
that's
about
too
that
much
part.
information without any, like, backup. Was that around the time that
Yeah.
your
That's
husband
why.
died? Or was that, like,
So it
hey,
sounds like even his siblings are like, no,
Mhm.
we're all set with you.
to me, it's like, it's not enough information for that. But it's like, let them grieve how they need to grieve. And if they blame him, they blame him.
Yeah.
And if they need to grieve by disconnecting from him, then that's what they need to do.
He needs to take inventory of the choices that he has made to this point. I recognize the disease of addiction. I recognize that he is also hurting. The best thing Colin can do in hopes to have a future relationship with you and his siblings is to take care of himself in a meaningful way. You are right. That won't happen overnight. This is going to be a lifelong battle for your stepson. He clearly has shown no remorse for what has happened, and saying that you have lured his grown siblings away is ridiculous. They are old enough to see what is going on and have experienced it for themselves. I'm so sorry that he is going through this, but setting boundaries is healthier for everyone. If he wants to be in your life, then certain expectations need to be set. You are allowed to sit with your anger. You are allowed to grieve your husband without Lydia and Colin around. You are allowed to block them on your phone. You are allowed to take as much time as you need to rebuild and see where you are down the road. Colin may want to be in your life, but that doesn't mean you're obligated to accommodate him. I recommend that you reach out for support too, so that you can better understand this disease and how to be of help should you someday choose to be.
I like that.
Let him walk his own path for a while, and maybe in the future, if and when he is in a healthier place, you can come back together.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Like, I didn't expect it.
Right.
No, that was beautiful. That was perfectly
she touched on like
everything. Things we didn't think of.
Literally.
Like the supporting for the addiction, like learn more. I didn't even go there.
Right.
And that's actually perfect if you're feeling like this is something you want to do and you want to reconnect one day down the road. The only thing I would say differently is like, I would add to Natalie's and just be like, don't rule this out. Don't rule having a relationship with this person out right now. You're not in a position to make that decision. Also, I'm going to change my wine rating to a 3.
Yeah, it's not getting better with time.
To me, I am drinking Florida Natural. Is that what that orange juice brand is? The one in the carton?
Weird.
It tastes like orange juice to me. It's a citrus blend.
I got no orange juice.
Grapefruit, orange. Yeah. Straight up, I'm drinking orange juice.
It's definitely getting more
warm.
Soury.
Oh, yeah. It's
me.
It's because it's getting warmer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe I won't change mine.
Mine just tastes like orange juice. I'm having a balanced breakfast. This is my mimosa. Okay, I digress. Next.
To lighten the mood a little bit.
Uh-oh.
This is from October 2021. Roommate used your vibrator without asking, and now things are really awkward.
That's not like, keep going.
I don't want to.
I need you to.
Dear Natalie, my roommate and I are really close. We share a lot of our clothes and accessories. We love being together and have become great friends over the past 3 years. But she did something that crossed the line, and I'm not sure how to handle it. I came home the other day and found my vibrator in the dishwasher.
Hey,
I was
she cleaned
mortified,
it right.
to say the least. And then when I asked her how it found its way into a machine where we cleaned the dishes, she shrugged and said she couldn't find hers, so she used mine. She was annoyed that I was annoyed.
Oh.
I was like, you realize this is really gross, right? She told me to stop shaming her. I explained that I don't care if she has a vibrator, but she shouldn't use mine. It's not sanitary, and that is really too intimate. That was a week ago, and we've hardly spoken. Things are tense in our house, and I'm not sure how to smooth this over. I love her and don't want this to wreck our friendship, but don't you think she crossed a line? What do I do to get our friendship back on track? Bad vibrations.
Imagine wrecking a friendship by trying to wreck yourself.
What did she say? I couldn't find mine?
I couldn't find... Where the fuck did you put your vibrator?
Also, why do you know where mine is?
I can see, like...
And did you...
I would automatically look on a nightstand if I was looking for someone else's vibrator, just out of instinct. I was also never look for anyone's vibrator.
I would never think to like, fuck, where's my vibrator?
Right.
Oh, let me go grab Besties. That would
never cross my mind.
I'm going to go sit
I'd be like, I guess I'm going to go
in the shower with the
shower head.
Yeah.
Or on the washing machine like Sofia Vergara and Four Brothers.
Or just my own self.
Yeah.
That would probably be my first.
I would just drink a lot of coffee and put my hand on my clitoris.
Right? Just skip breakfast and drink 2 cups of coffee.
I know. Let my jitters
I won't
give
even
me the
need
quivers.
to. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. You know what? This is not a boundary that was necessarily... I don't feel like this is a boundary that needed to be spelled out, but it was a boundary crossed nonetheless. Great, she put it in the dishwasher to clean it. Like, that's not unheard of.
I don't care if you
right, but
gave
that's
it a
like
bleach
that doesn't
bath
make it
for like
okay.
a month, and then like I'm not touching that again. But also, I'm disgusted.
Yeah, that's not cool
with you. I'm like,
and the question was like, how do we get rid of this awkward?
Yeah, she wants. I love her and don't want this to wreck our friendship, but don't you think she crossed a line? What do I do to get our friendship back on track?
I agree that this crossed a line. I don't necessarily think that this would be the case for everybody in terms of like agreeing that they crossed a line.
Didn't we do?
We didn't. You have your toys. I don't even have mine.
A question.
I only bought one for you. Did not use it before you got it.
No, it was like something about the neighbor and like the dick clone, Willie clone.
Oh, that was so long ago. It was the best friend
She,
wanted
like-
the husband's cloned Willie because she had one or something like that.
Or it was like I feel like we did something that it was like,
Mhm. Like, hell will you
guys are
be,
super close.
pretend or not,
Like,
be fucking my husband.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe not similar unless I'm thinking of something else. But
No, I see the parallels. And it's just like, it's sharing something. And
but I thought it was like she wanted mine.
no, she
of my
wanted
husband's.
She wanted one of the husband of her own, is what I remembered.
But like, was it based off of
I don't
like
remember.
what made her
Yeah.
be like, yo,
I think it's because her husband did one and she saw it.
okay, so
Yeah.
that's where
I don't know.
I thought
If
it
she
was
used
like
it,
she
that'd be-
wanted mine of my husband's.
Oh, yeah, no. I think she saw it and she was like, well, this is great. Will he make me one too? It's like, no.
Yeah, I don't remember. We'll have to.
You
look,
can just
but
find something close.
they literally sell them in stores.
Right.
I don't know how you. It's hard because it's like I have friends that like if something like this happened, I would be like, bro, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But then like we're cool the next day.
I know that's where I am, where I just be like, if we're not cool, like I know
But
how
then
I would
there's-
handle it with my friends.
Yeah, but then there's
I don't know
like
if I'd tell somebody to handle it
levels
that way.
of friendship that's like, I can't look at you the same. Like I don't.
Yeah, like
I
I would
see
never
you
even share one with
differently.
you.
No, thank God.
Yeah,
Hello,
Oh.
yeast infection.
all of them. I also don't own one, but if I did, I wouldn't share one with you.
Like, there's not enough cleaning agents
no,
in the world. It's like
no,
used underwear. Even if it's
You know
washed,
what?
it's like
it's
I'm
not my
still
underwear.
not.
Right. It's like when someone says, "Do you want to borrow a pair of underwear?" You're like, "Do you want to borrow some of my sanity?"
Yeah.
I think just to bring it back, it's a matter of fact of being like, hey, I need to end this awkwardness. This isn't healthy for us. I love you. I don't like this. This is the boundary I have. Please don't cross it. Can we go back to normal? That's how I would handle it. I'd be like, okay, enough of this bullshit. We need to get this out because I need my bestie because I need to go out for a drink. It's been a long week.
We need to go dildo shopping.
We can even do that. We can get the same one so you never touch mine again. If you need to pretend that I used it. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. Like I couldn't find mine. Great. I don't know how much I believe that. That's the kind of thing kind of like, hey, I know where I put it.
Also, like I can manage
Right.
without it
Right.
if
Yeah. I could find something.
it's that necessary
Right.
that I need.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could find something. A massage gun.
Literally
A cucumber.
Open the fridge.
Right. Exactly.
Go
I
into the
didn't want to
bathroom.
say that, but that's exactly what I was thinking. Open your fridge.
like
You're going to find something. Either a jar of olives or... Okay, I'm going too far. But
just
I'm
skip
not,
the
huh?
mayonnaise.
yeah. But that's it. A matter of fact, clear the air. Get it out. Say what you need to say. And just be like, I miss my best friend. This is just a boundary that I think we need to like acknowledge, get over this hump in our relationship and like be where we were.
Yeah, just don't say hump.
What did Natalie say? Did Natalie say hump?
I don't even know if I have an answer before I read
Mm-mm.
Natalie's.
Well, that's why I'm like, I know what I would say because I don't have something I would recommend to another person. I would just tell them what I would do.
I'm really great at not letting things be awkward or stay awkward. This one is awkward. I'm just like, I don't know if I can look at you the same.
Yeah. But she's willing to, she's like, I love my roommate and
I
I
know.
want things to go back to
I know.
normal.
So yeah, I'm going to agree with you and just be like, look,
Enough.
keep it. Don't, whatever
You
happened
got
to it anyways.
embarrassed or defensive or whatever. Don't
Right.
say that to her, please. Just
Right.
accept that that's what happened.
Right. That was hers. Don't shame me. Bitch,
You're embarrassed. Okay, sorry.
I'm shaming you. That's disgusting. Did you
That's
put it in the dishwasher before you used it?
That's how Biff's handling it.
Hello.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Don't do it again. Thanks. Love ya. Let's go get hammered.
Shit-faced. So we can talk about what you did with my vibrator so I know whether or not I can use it again.
I'm not using it.
I'm throwing it in the
again.
trash for the record.
That's why I said, you're either keeping it. It's yours now. If you're obviously comfortable with that.
But I also
don't
want to know what you
trust
did
Dawn
with it
that
because I'm
much.
very...
But I'm good. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, please.
Well, let's leave it to the expert. Dear bad vibrations.
Oh my God.
Oh, she didn't just cross the line. She jumped right over it. You handled it better than a lot of people would have.
Yes.
Yes, because I would still be like, bro, you just like...
Understood. I'm with you.
While it is great to be close and to share clothes and accessories, it is a whole other thing to use someone else's vibrator without their knowledge. Explain to her that you care about this friendship and you didn't intend to embarrass her, but that she caught you completely off guard. Moving forward, your bedroom is off limits unless you invite her in. The same goes for her personal space.
Yep.
We learn as little kids that we shouldn't take things without asking. This sentiment should hold true as we get older. Some people have a hard time with boundaries, but setting them both protects you and her as well as your relationship.
Amen.
There is nothing wrong with defining personal spaces. Approach her in the spirit of love. And if you have to lock the top drawer of your nightstand to be safe, do what you gotta do.
An emotional condom.
We're never going to be the same again.
We're never going to be the same again. I eventually would probably forget.
No. Every time I look at you now, I'm going to be like, well, you fucked me. You raped me.
Oh, that's... I see why you said that.
My insides were inside.
Yeah.
Your insides.
Yeah. Please tell me you washed it as much as you could before you... Well, I don't want to know.
No, because even washed.
I don't want to know. We all have separate standards, and clearly this roommate is okay with...
I'm just trying to think of any one of my friends that our friendship would survive after this.
Me?
That one would just be funny. Yes, you don't have a vagina.
Oh,
you know what I mean? It's different.
It's still...
I think it's more funny if you're I shoved your brush up my butthole, or I used your vibrator in my asshole.
That's funny because I was thinking I used your vibrating toothbrush on my clitoris.
Ugh.
Right. If you came up to me, obviously, because I don't have a clitoris.
Oh, I used your toothbrush.
Right. Yes. I should complete a thought first. But yes.
Would you still?
Oh, there would definitely be a trip to the closest drugstore for a new toothbrush.
Would you leave the old one there in case I ever needed it again?
No, I'd be like, you're cool if I throw this out, right? Because
out. Just leave it as backup.
But if you did that, it would be payback for something. I used your vibrator.
I'd be waiting in the bathroom,
waiting for me to brush my teeth. And be I literally just used, and I'd laugh and keep brushing my teeth, thinking that you're joking, and you'd be like, no, dead ass. Because it's dead vibrator.
Dead ass vibrator.
Next, please. Thank you, Natalie. That was way better.
That was good. Especially approach her in the spirit of love. Listen, I'm not trying to change.
That's how she pushed me away. Self-love.
Next. This is from March 22nd, 2023. How do you handle a grieving friend that never wants to have fun anymore?
Oh.
Dear Natalie, one of my best friends lost her mother recently, and she's been having a very difficult time navigating her grief. She breaks down and cries whenever we're together and hasn't been interested in doing anything fun. I hate to be that person, but it is really hard to be around someone who is so depressed. I shared with her the names of a few therapists that I thought could help, and she was really insulted. She said to me, I don't need a therapist, I need a friend. But I can't be that friend every time we're together. It has been a few months, and it's just all she talks about. How do I help her without getting sucked into the negativity spiral? Sad friend situation.
Are they besties or just friends? Because that matters.
One of my best friends.
Okay. The first thing that came to my mind is you're literally both okay feeling what you're feeling.
No, you're a fucking asshole.
I don't think you're an asshole. I think you have, as a human, your natural limits. And I think that we are built to handle certain things in our own lives and in people's lives. And I think that's why I asked the best friend question. No, I know that's why I asked, is because I would handle you differently than I would handle a friend.
That's why I'm calling this person an asshole.
Yeah. But saying one of my best friends to me is like, you don't really know who this person is to you. Just
there's no such thing as more than one best friend.
You have a Biff, you have a best friend, and you have everyone else.
You have close friends, and you have a best friend.
No, you have close friends, a bestie, and a Biff.
Sure.
We've talked about this. Biffs are their own thing. They're your maid of honor.
A bestie is like a side
or
Biff.
Your man of honor. That's fucking gross.
Exactly. We don't like...
Besties use your vibrators. A Biff
without it being awkward. I'm not going to be able to sleep. I'm just like...
I wish we could name an episode.
We could.
Boss.
UGHLT.
But we would get that. Everyone would be like, I think they finally lost it.
No, I think the common spelling is UGHLT.
Is it? Okay.
Can we use emojis for?
I think so, actually.
For titles?
No.
Anywho.
I really do think, all jokes aside, that you're feeling what you're feeling. You're handling what you can handle. This person is grieving, and they're they don't feel like they're grieving for as long as they feel they need to grieve. We let people do that.
There is no time.
There's no time.
Grief.
You grieve what you need to grieve, and then when you're ready to move on, you move on. And I do agree that there are sometimes people who are feeling a way that feel like they need to keep. There are people who don't feel heard, or people who don't feel like they've expressed enough grief. And I know that that can be draining sometimes. And I'm not just talking about like grieving a parent or, a friend, but like grieving a relationship or, grieving the loss of a job, or like some people just get caught up in that emotional rut and they need to feel it. And until they have experienced all of those stages of grief personally, they're not going to move forward. And some of that is a choice. Some of that is just running its course, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You're also feeling like this is draining me. I'm not that kind of a person. That's also okay. And you can choose how much time you spend with this person. But know that that's going to have an impact on your relationship, and you need to be okay with that. Like how much you can take of that, pull back, repair, start all over again. That would be my advice. No one can be there for anyone 24/7. It's going to be like, we need to take care of ourselves.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's going to be a drain on us emotionally, but like that person is grieving. That's there. I think what you need to focus on is being there for them as much as you can, but like take care of yourself. And recommending a therapist when it's unsolicited based on a personal experience can be very insulting.
Especially for this type of situation.
Especially for this. Like I lost.
Like, sure, there's
parent.
Grief counselors and stuff,
right,
but like, yeah, her mom.
Oh yeah. There's nothing anyone can tell me. I don't care if it's 8 years down the road.
Right.
There's nothing anyone can tell me when
Stop! Stop.
That's my biggest fear. That's why.
That's
one of my biggest fears.
Happening. It's not
ever. I'm going first. I insist.
Forever.
I
She's
insist.
Like, gonna haunt us.
I'm going first.
Really? You're 120? Really?
There's nothing anyone can tell. Oh shit. You're so fucking right. That bitch is here to stay.
She's like, listen, I'm not done.
There's nothing anyone can tell me that's going to make my grief go quicker. That's going to make my processing this go quicker or shorter or whatever. It's going to be what it is. And either you're with me or you're not. You know what I mean? Mm. And I think that's where this friend might be. It's like, I need a friend. I don't need a therapist. That's up to them. If they come to you and be like, I'm looking for a therapist because I can't seem to go over this, that's a different story. But if you're like, you need to get over your mom that you lost recently, you should find a therapist. Like, fuck you, you're a dick.
That's why I said you're a piece of shit.
But if you just don't have the capacity for it, that's okay too. Kind of just like recommending a therapist is a dickish move, in my opinion.
Listen, this is like so self-absorbed that I'm like, if you were my friend, we are no longer friends.
Yeah.
Your concern is, oh my God.
You were a party friend until you weren't.
Like,
what it feels like.
Yeah. Like, okay, I get it. Your mom died. Like, okay, can't we go out? Mm-hmm. Like, what do you want me to do? Go see a fucking therapist. Mm-hmm. Like, the negativity spiral, her fucking mother is dead. Yeah. Like, well, and your brain is like, she doesn't want to do anything fun. Right. It's all she talks about when I see her. Like, she's just, it's been like a few months.
Yeah,
like,
now I'm teetering.
Fuck you.
Now I'm teetering because
fuck
I think.
You. If you don't have, listen, you know, mm-hmm. I agree. People's capacities are their capacities, right. But this is like self-absorbed. This mm-hmm. isn't like capacity to me.
Yeah.
This is like.
I can see that.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, your mom died. Like, all right, let's move on. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I now that you're saying that, like, I can actually see that.
Like, imagine being the friend that's insensitive to a friend, like one of your best friends.
Right.
About the death of their parent.
I want to know what they mean, very honestly, what they mean about negativity spiral.
She said, it's really hard to be around someone who is so depressed. Mm-hmm. And
right. Are they getting lost in their negative mood, or are they getting lost in what that mood does to them?
She's having a difficult time navigating her grief. Mm-hmm. She breaks down and cries whenever we're together. Mm-hmm.
It's not just you.
She's not interested in doing anything fun. It's all she talks about. You know what I mean? Like, this is so insensitive.
It's a part of her.
This is so insensitive. That's all she talks about. She still cries about it months later. She doesn't want to do anything fun. Like, no shit.
I agree with that it's super insensitive. I also think that people are conditioned for certain things. Like, do you know that what you're saying is ignorant? Like, there's some people who are like, they don't wake up until they're woken up.
This is so self-absorbed.
No, I agree with you. I don't disagree with you at all. Because once you said that, that's how it's like.
I'm
right. I don't think they were
more concerned about myself than one of my best friends.
One of my best friends'
mother's dead.
Yeah, I think that there's a possibility, not necessarily in this case, but like that a person isn't taught or nurtured that somebody else's feelings matter too. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like sociopaths who can't relate.
Great. Let me just fucking throw this shovel aside.
Just kidding. I know what you're saying. I just think this is a really shitty friend.
I think it could be. I think that also we would know for sure if this friend had said, like, I took the step to talk to them about my emotions about this, and they explained, but they did. Because I need a friend.
I don't need a therapist. I need a friend.
Yeah. I'm just going to sit on the seesaw over here, and whichever side weighs me down is the side I'm taking. But for the record, there is nothing anyone can say or do that's going to make my emotions move to the rhythm of their drum. I'm going to grieve as long as I need to grieve. And that's that.
Yeah.
And you're with me or you're not. Like, you know how close me and my mom are.
Mm-hmm.
So if you came up to me and told me 6 months down the road that I need to move on, then
Here's
you made a bad
therapist.
judgment call. You know you're making a bad judgment call.
I'm zero concerned with you and your feelings
Right.
and what you're going through.
Right.
Because for me, it's too much to deal with you
Mm-hmm.
dealing with the death of your mother,
Right.
you know? And
But that's because it's you and me, and I know you.
when I say like, this person's one of my best friends,
Mhm.
it's like, there's 3 people
Yeah.
like,
Right.
that are like, I trust with my whole life.
Right.
And you're one of 3.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And like, I just, even if it's like, okay, it's a little bit heavy, you know, I know that when I go over there, they're probably going to be crying or they're going to bring it up or they're, you know, and that is draining sometimes. But like, to not put that aside in myself to be there to support
Mm-hmm.
and give my friend what they need
Right.
in these times is fucking scumbag. You know what I mean? Like, okay, if you can't manage, just stop being their friend then. Don't sit here and be like, okay, like, I gotta go see a therapist if you're still sad 2 months later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if it's too much for you, it's too much for you. Sure.
Yeah.
But like, you're being an asshole about it.
Yeah, you are being an asshole.
There's
about
ways
it. I
to-
can agree with that.
Sorry, I'm busy this weekend. You know, don't go hang out with one of your other best friends.
Yeah.
I don't like.
Just to answer the question, how can you help her move on? You be there.
Without getting sucked into the negativity spiral.
Well,
like, you're a fucking asshole.
You be there.
We
You handle
can't
what you
name.
can, and then maybe you just don't respond to a text message right away. Like, take care of yourself, because you can't help other people unless you help yourself. That's where I'm stuck for no other reason other than like, we need to take care of ourselves too.
I agree, but I just feel there's zero empathy. So it feels heavier because you're not empathizing with what they're going through.
Yeah, I don't disagree
so
with you either.
So you're seeing it as like, okay, oh my God, you're so dramatic.
Like as an advice
your mom
columnist,
died. Okay, like.
Yeah, as an advice columnist, I wouldn't pick this question because it'd be like, I'm having a hard time reconciling both sides of this because like your friend fucking needs you and you're being a douchebag. But also, like, you can handle what you can handle as an individual. So do I go based on how you wrote this? Which, by the way, you're a piece of shit with the way you wrote it. Or do I go with, like, the humanity in me that says, like...
There's zero empathy.
You can handle what you handle, and then you're, like, ready to...
I think if you're more empathetic, it gives you more capacity. Because you can understand. Like, of course you don't want to go to the club.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's been 2 months, 3 months. You know what I mean? Like, I still want to, because fortunately, my mom didn't die recently, but I get that you don't want to.
Right.
You know what I mean? And to use words like negativity spiral.
Yeah, that's what I still think.
Like, it's just, you're literally like calling this girl a drama queen.
Yeah.
Because she just buried her mother a few months ago.
Yeah.
I
agree with you.
There's zero empathy, sympathy.
It's
like, I can't relate to what you're going through. So to me, you're being dramatic.
But also, I can't relate what you're going through and I don't want to imagine it. So how can I be here for you?
Well, I'm very clearly not imagining it.
No, I'm just like, here's the other side of it in my head. Like, I'm not.
Right, like,
to this person.
Never experienced this, so how can I be
like, we don't need to
friend?
go through an experience to empathize with another human.
Right. And that's why I said, like, they're
that's
not empathizing.
Teetering.
Like, I don't know what it's like to lose a parent, but I damn sure.
I wonder if they thought they were, albeit being a terrible judgment call, but if they thought they were empathizing by suggesting therapy. And that's not a debate question. It's just like for the room, like putting it out there. Like, you know how sometimes we say things where we're like, this is coming off wrong, but it was received in a way, and that's what matters. The way that we think what we're communicating information isn't how it's received.
Like, I really don't even know how to say, like, maybe you could talk to someone about this.
Right. Like, or even just like
bitch, I'm talking to you about it. Like, oh, I didn't mean it that way.
Right. Like, we're trying to offer help. We just don't know how to offer it. We don't know how to deliver that information. Right. We also don't know how to communicate like negativity spiral. Like, I'm going down a spiral.
I hate to be quote unquote that person.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's really hard to be around someone who's so depressed.
Yeah. This sounds like a person who represses their own emotions.
I don't think they
don't acknowledge
typical emotions like normal human beings do. To me, it's very much like, oh, something not about me. Oh, bye.
Yeah. Yeah. This is,
I don't know, figure it out on your own.
It's too
I'm
layered
going to the club.
For me as an advice columnist.
When you're done
so
being
I would not
sad or whatever, I'll be at the bar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dear sad friend situation. People have to come to terms with how they process their grief in their own way. Currently, she may be too close to the situation for therapy to be of use to her. In a year, she may feel differently. In the meantime, she does need a friend. Maybe navigating grief isn't your strength. You may ask yourself what makes a good friend. Is it someone who is there through the hard times? Is it someone who can shed new perspective and be a voice for reason or support when needed? A good listener? All of these things are so important to have when someone is in the throes of grief. Find ways to help her navigate these waters and also set boundaries so that you don't feel so overwhelmed yourself. As hard as it is to be there for her right now, think of how hard it is to be her. Lean into that empathy and work on doing what you can. One day she'll turn to you for fun again. I think she politely said what I said.
I actually really loved, because this kind of plays into what I was saying in terms of capacity, like, do what you can. That's what like stuck out to me out of all of it. Like, do what you can. Because it's true. We're not going to be able to handle everything.
Yeah, we're not supposed to overwhelm ourselves with other people's...
We can't.
Things.
We're not even supposed to overwhelm ourselves with our own shit. But we can get lost in that. Like, what do we know about... We don't know anything about this writer and their personal whatever they're going through. But, like, I think that's an important thing, too. Like, you can't help anyone. You can't put the mask on your child on an airplane before you put one on yourself.
Beg to differ.
Well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
You can't put the mask on your neighbor, not child.
Oh, what? Right.
That's all.
Well, I guess my neighbor was my child. But you know what I mean? Like,
no, and
you need to, in order to be able to help other people, you need to be able to help other people. Like, you need to take care of you first.
We can't lose ourselves trying to help others.
Yeah, that's
but
the
this
part
just very much didn't feel like that.
Yeah.
It just was like, all right, cool. Like, are you done being sad yet?
But asking the question alone, to me, feels like a step in the right direction. Maybe they want to be a good person. They just don't know how.
Or they're looking for like, girl, I know, like, oh my God.
I know, but I just want to believe.
I know.
How can I be a cynic and want to believe the good in people?
Do you want to know what's interesting? You know, I've spent the majority of my life studying like psychopathy and fucking serial killers.
Well, yeah, you are what you eat.
The other...
I only said it for a reaction.
Anywho. The other day, actually, I might have been yesterday, I like randomly was like, I could tell you a lot about the mind of like a psychopath or a sociopath or like an antisocial individual or like a serial killer, but not one time in my 30-something years on this earth.
Do you want me to fill in the blank?
No.
Okay.
Have I stopped to think about the other end of psychopathy, right? Like, I even venture to say that you are, there's a specific phrase, hypersensitive human. There's it actually might be hypersensitive person, HSP. Google this while I'm talking. Like, extra sensitive people. But I was like, I never one time was like, oh, is there something going on in there prefrontal cortex that's making
someone
them...
with a personality trait that makes them more sensitive to physical, emotional, or social situations. HSP are neurodivergent, meaning their brains work differently than others.
So it is HSP. Hypersensitive
HSP.
person?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Would you like to hear some of the traits?
I know them all.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said I venture to say that you also are, because I 100% am.
15 to 20% of people. Oh.
My sister 100% is. And
So what people believe to be someone who's empathic, someone who's able to feel other people.
But more than that, because it even comes down to like physical, like the textures of things and like the...
I'm sensitive to another person's discomfort.
Like,
I have a rich inner world and deep thoughts. I avoid violent movies. Oh, sorry. Need that. Need that to be who I am.
I need that to go to sleep at night.
I am conscientious. Wow.
But it's even like physical things, like textures. And it's so much more than just like, I can feel your pain, or I can recognize somebody in a room full of 1 million people. That's,
oh my God.
Right. I don't remember fully the...
I just keep going down a spiral of all of this and relating to it.
That's why I said I'm venturing to say
I love
that
your venture.
you're in HSP as well. Because
may seem to be
that's
uncomfortable in social situations. That doesn't mean they don't value relationships. But my favorite, need regular alone time.
Yeah,
Don't take it personally.
Recoup.
Yeah. I didn't think that was a thing. I just thought I needed me time.
You do.
Well,
but you need you time
because
for a reason. Right?
I'm a husp.
Yeah. So literally, I think it was yesterday that I was like, not one time have I ever looked up the brain of a fucking HSP.
Oh.
Right. And I was just like, oh, that's annoying.
Is it because we think we know who we are?
No, it's like because I can't relate to a psychopath or to a sociopath or to a serial killer. That's my fascination with them, because I can in no way, shape, or form imagine.
Oh, connecting dots. Dots.
But also, that's on the very other end of the spectrum. It's not just like a psychopath versus the everyday human. It's like this is an actual subgroup, much like psychopaths.
Right.
And it just literally dawned on me yesterday that like I never was like, okay, so what's going on in the brain or in the system functionings of the opposite end of psycho or sociopath, right? Like, it's like, that's annoying. I should know better than what I know. I could sit here all day and tell you all kinds of information about the opposite side, but I'm less to tell you about.
Because you feel like you know. Like you feel like because you live it.
No, I don't know a goddamn thing other than the symptoms.
Well, I mean, like you're not looking into it because you don't. I'm not talking about the sociopaths and all that. Like you're looking into them because you don't know, because you don't relate, because you can't.
Right. It's fascinating.
And that's why you're not looking into the other side, because like you're already relating. Like it's not something that's making you wonder. Like instinctively, that's who you are.
Well, no, because what originally made me so interested in studying psychopathy or serial killers was what is going on in their brain that's different than the average person, right? Like what makes them cross that line versus the everyday human that's like, I'll fucking kill you, and literally never would dream of it. You know what I mean? So it's like my curiosity of like, what's different in your brain or your chemistry or your childhood that's causing this end of things.
I think in my head, I'm thinking more like normal and hypersensitive is still benevolent.
No, because what did it say? 17%?
15 to 20% are hypersensitive.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like normal and hypersensitive are still, in my mind, benevolent, where they're not looking to intentionally cause harm to someone, so to speak. Whereas those on the other side are like, I'm a masochist, a sadist, etc. And I'm like, here to stay. You know, like, say it loud, say it proud, from behind bars.
Hopefully.
Right. Like that kind of situation. Like,
Yeah,
so
no, I
that's
get
why I'm
it,
like,
but,
why
like-
wouldn't you? What I'm getting at is like, that's the part where you can't relate. You can't relate to the sociopathic part of it. So that's what you're like fascinated by, because you can't put
What's
yourself
going on
those
in
are the
their,
shoes you
their
can't
brain
get into.
and
Yeah.
their makeup that enables them
Mhm.
to cross these lines.
Right.
But I just was shocked that my curiosity wasn't like, okay, well, what the fuck's going on in my
Right.
brain?
Yeah, no, I can understand that.
That-
Like, why wouldn't I look at myself?
Yeah.
Because why would we? We're okay. That kind of thought. You know what I mean? That
Yeah,
kind of
not out here killing
I'm
people.
normal.
But it's like,
ish.
no. Never
Oh,
one
that's
time
not
in my
all.
life have I been like, oh, I'm just like a normal person.
Well, you know what I
I've always
mean?
been
Like,
aware
you're
that,
not a
like-
sociopath. Like, I'm not there. So, like, why would I look into myself when this is what fascinates me? That's what I'm getting at. Like, there's nothing deeper than that.
No, I know what you're saying. And I agree. I'm just saying I can't believe that not one time until last night
Right.
when I was studying Eileen Wuornos.
Mhm. Oh, you did go into that? Oh.
Was it like, okay, but also
Mhm.
the 15 to 20% of people that are in the complete opposite end of the spectrum,
Right.
what's going on in that brain?
Right.
And it just was like irritating that I'm like, I don't know.
Have you started looking into it yet?
Not yet. I have to finish my assignment on Eileen.
Oh, okay.
Literally, while I was writing a paper about her, I was like, how did I can tell you everything. Well, that's how it started, because I'm like, I can write a 3-page paper about psychopathy and serial killers and all these things. But what was frustrating for me was like, okay, now I got to go find references.
Right.
Because I can't just be like,
I know this.
14-year-old
Here you
me
go.
Googling Jeffrey
Right.
Dahmer. So it was like, that was my irritation, where it's like, really? I gotta go fucking spend a half hour like
Right.
just finding somebody to say what I already know, like whatever.
Yeah.
And then I was like, just spiraled into,
How did I not go venture into
but
this
hold on,
side of it? Yeah.
what the fuck's going on in my
But wait,
prefrontal
there's
cortex?
more.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
is there damage that shifts the other way, or, you know?
Well, there sure is.
And I was just like, this is so irritating that I don't know.
hmm
And also, I'm shocked that that's not something that ever,
Well, welcome.
I know, stay up all night going down a
Personal
rabbit hole.
confusion. Yeah.
I'll let you know what's going on in our brains
Thanks.
after my,
I never even knew I existed.
you never heard of it before?
No, I hadn't. No, that's the first
I
time
feel like
it's
I
ever.
heard about it some time ago,
I
but
didn't-
it didn't like,
I heard of
register.
hypersensitive before, but I never thought it was like a classification. So I just thought like, hey, you're hypersensitive.
Yeah.
I'm ultra sensitive. I cry when people look at me.
I can't wear a certain material because
Right.
it makes my body mental.
Right.
Yeah.
Not my skin.
Right. If
My-
there's a single dirt speck in my sheets when I'm sleeping at night,
Was that a dig?
I cannot sleep at night. No, every night I'm taking my sheets off to shake off my little
I'm like
crumbleina.
smoothing it out.
Yes.
Yep.
Like material, fabrics, sounds.
It's mental. It's all here.
And I always knew that like I'm just not your norm.
hmm Well, I
But
knew
it
that
didn't
too. Yeah.
it didn't fully register until my daughter. She's 100%
Oh,
HSP.
do you think that's learned, or
No.
you know what? Before
No,
we
not
go
at all.
down that rabbit hole,
Not at all.
because
Because
this
there's
is a
things
great
that
conversation.
she says and does that I'm like, can we just deal with your ponytail feeling not in the exact spot that you wanted to? Like,
Right.
can't you just wear the shirt I spent $25 on that you haven't worn one time? No, you can't because the sleeves don't hit the right length. Oh, right. Of
You're
course,
your
that's
mother's
irritating
child.
to you. Pick whatever shirt you want to, my
Yeah.
love. That's what really made me like, all right,
How did we get here?
sociopath friends.
Got it. I remember.
I know, sorry, spiral.
But a great
Rabbit
conversation.
hole, not a spiral.
If you suffer from HSP,
And know what's happening in your brain that's different.
send us your questions, your comments, and all
No,
of
send
your
me what's
concerns.
happening in the brain
or that.
that
Or
Ted
that.
Bundy doesn't
Oh
have.
my God. That last one in particular elicited a lot of like thinking and discussion, but like those were great questions.
They usually are.
Yeah. Fucking Natalie.
Bencivenga.
I know. We got to get our Bencivenga down. I'm turning it into a verb.
I want to hear her say it.
I know. I follow her on Instagram and I think TikTok too. And I think we do also on Ill Advised. And it's just like, can listen to her talk forever. Like, just keep talking.
I'm ashamed to admit that I don't know that I've ever heard her voice.
Wow.
I'm also not a social media person.
That's true. You're like, Facebook is all the rage. And I'm like, Facebook died 20 years ago.
But also I'm like, I do nothing on Facebook but
right.
watch other
Every
people.
3 days you might like something.
Right. And every couple months I'll post my child.
Right. So, yeah, you used to be, which is weird. Back in your MySpace days, exactly.
MySpace, you're off my top 10 real quick.
It was top 8, but whatever.
And my profile song.
Oh my God. You know what? Somebody posted on TikTok, it's 2007, and they're calling someone, and it's like, and it was literally you, because it was, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like, please listen to this ringback tone while we reach the person that you're calling. And it was a Verizon number. And it was definitely like me listening to you. I'ma buy you a drink.
And then.
And I was like, oh my God, this is literally what I lived through in 2007. Like, this was this ringback tone.
It probably was.
Please enjoy this Verizon ringback tone while we reach.
I forgot about those.
Yeah.
Ringback tones.
I wonder if they're still a thing.
I don't know. I don't think I've heard of them since 2007. But
seriously, they lasted
I'm
like
gonna
20
look
minutes.
Because I got some songs.
Bitch.
I got some
No
songs.
one. Your dad's the only one that calls you. Everyone else texts you.
That's true.
Great. So unless you're willing to put on whatever Pops grew up with.
Listen, I like country.
Oh, well, that's
Morgan Wallen. I still don't know how to say his name.
2 L's, E-N?
Yeah.
Wallen?
I know. I always think I know, and then I feel like every time I hear it on the radio, they say it the other way. But
you might
then
be
I
right.
confuse.
I'm just going by English rules.
Yeah. If you're Morgan Wallen, let us know.
Let Stephanie know.
Please let me know anything you would like me to know.
I don't have capacity for that friendship.
Yeah, you are. I balance.
Send us your questions, your comments, all your concerns, and recommendations for Biff to keep drinking so that she doesn't care what's wailing at her at illadvisedthepodcast@gmail.com. And that's it for this week. So anything to add, Biff? No?
I'm still internally laughing at what's wailing at me.
Okay.
Also, I'm just thinking about the French Olympics.
So join us next week when we do this all over again. And until then, you're beautiful, you're wonderful. You can set your own boundaries.
I'm gonna buy you a drink. Then.
And if it's not your friend's vibrator, you shouldn't even touch it. And thank you for listening.
Why did you have to remind me?
Close this out.
See?
You've been ill-advised.
You've been so ill-advised.
It's twice in a row.
It's
twice in a row.
Advised.
Ill-Advised is hosted and produced by Stefani and Ray.
AKA your Biffs.
Send us your questions, your comments, all of your concerns.
And your drink recommendations.
To illadvisedthepodcast@gmail.com. You can catch up on all of our episodes and our show notes at illadvisedthepodcast.com.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at illadvisedthepodcast. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe
on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you listen.
You've been ill-advised.